For my project, I did Russia for my country. I'm gonna go over some topics about the country itself, and then go into some details about their marketing situation and more about that. To start off, Russia is one of the world's biggest country in land size. It's the biggest country in the world. It takes up two continents. It's in Europe and Asia. It's the ninth most populated country in the world with 144 million people. It is so big, it has 11 time zones. Uh, Due to this large population, they have the sixth largest economy in the world, and their president is Vladimir Putin. Their economy, their GDP in 2015 was $1.86 trillion. This was good enough for sixth in the world, as I said before. They do have some issues with poverty, though. They have a 13.4% poverty rate, which has gone up in the last few years as they've had a crisis in their economy, and that's been causing some problems. And they've also had economic sanctions, which have resulted from the Ukraine situation. When Russia annexed part of the Ukraine, I think it's called Crimea, the rest of the world did not take very well to that. So there have been sanctions against Russia. This has led to reductions in their oil prices. They've had issues making money off that. There's sanctions from the United States and the European Union, and then Russia has also in turn provided sanctions against those countries as well. So Russia quit importing foreign foods, foreign products. So this has had a serious effect on U.S. companies marketing and working in Russia, and it's also had an effect on European countries. There's also been low oil prices in the world lately. Oil is usually around like $100 a barrel, and now it's down to like 40. So that's had serious effect as oil is a very very important commodity in Russia, and they depend heavily on it. The industry in oil, as I said, they have massive oil and gas and coal resources. They also have timber. They're a big logging country. They do a lot of that, but oil and gas are their main sources of income. They have some state-controlled oil companies, and they also have private companies, but they rely heavily on that. They also have a strong aerospace, automotive, and military industry. They are the second largest exporter of arms, and they're very big in engineering and creating things like that. Uh, their military spending is very similar to the U.S. They spend a lot of money on that, and they export a lot of weapons at the same time, so they do that too. Their population is growing. 20 to 25% of the population is in the middle class, and that's expected to grow by 15% more by 2020. So they have a very solid population. Most people are well off, besides that 13% that is in poverty, but they do have a strong things going for them. 74% of the citizens live in urban areas. They have 12 cities with population over 1 million. So a lot of the country is barren land, but the population tends to focus in the cities and urban areas. So that's good for marketing, as you can reach a lot of people in one area. They've, as I said, 12 cities with over 1 million people. Moscow is the capital. It's also the largest city with over 11 million people, and most of the population is in the western part of the country where most of the cities are. So that can be an issue in marketing too, as if you want to you have to focus on one side of the country first instead of the other, and that makes distribution very difficult too, as it's hard to get all your items in one part of the country and not to the other one. Business in Russia has been good for U.S. companies besides the sanctions that are happening. U.S. companies saw a 57% sales growth in 2014. Russia has a poor road and rail infrastructure system, which has led to issues with distribution, and that can be troublesome for companies as they have to come up with new ways to distribute their product instead of traditional like roads and air. So one thing I read was that they have created places for orders to be picked up online. So if somebody put an order online, there's a set location like a store in their town that they would have to go to get their order instead of having it delivered directly to their house, because there isn't a good option to have that done for the right price. Russians do. They use a lot of technology. They have a large marketing audience online at 53 million people estimated. They all, a lot of people have computers, and they also have one of the highest rates of cell phone use. So it's a good way to reach people by marketing to them online through their phones and computers and TV. Their traditional media, which is like TV and radio, also grew by 13% in 2014. So that's another way to advertise. It's the fifth largest market in the world for advertising. So that's a good start for companies to market for them. Uh, Russians are attracted to products that are foreign because they feel that they're higher quality and that they're better made. They're also mostly popular in the luxury item. Like one poll showed that the luxury items searched for were all foreign made. They were Audi, Bentley, BMW, all the clothing lines from Italy and stuff like that. And then even some companies in Russia will give their products foreign names just to appeal to that sense that it's a good product. Local goods like food and beverage though are preferred. So if you're in that type of area of that, you want to be focused on being local. But if you're in like a consumer product, you might want to be a foreign company. The government has joined the World Trade Organization in 2012, which is going to lower tariffs for imported items, and this is good for foreign companies, but it's also a challenge to Russian companies now. Putin has challenged them to come up with better products so they can compete more. So if you're going into Russia to work, you're gonna come in with more local competition because they're focusing on that more often now. And then their prime minister has also created plans to increase competition, but he also wants to increase development of their products, and they want to work with other companies to grow together and make a better Russia. If I were to market in Russia, I would focus on doing online marketing as that's probably the best way to reach the people. And then I would also come up with a marketing campaign that reaches to their sense of pride and nationalism because Russians are very big on that. They're very proud of their country and things like that. So I would work on marketing online towards them and uh, focus on things that they are very proud of. Russia has a lot of good things going for it. Some bad, some good, but there's good market there because it's so big and you can do a lot with your product there. Thank you.